Yeah.
Va a picar Iwobici. La pelota vino para David Martínez. Buen pase. Martínez va. Salió el golero. Está. ¡Gol! Disponible. Oh, qué mal que la pasó Moreno. Ordaz para Huanga. Está. LAFC.
What's up, baby?
Hey.
Section 128, here we go. We're here with Erik Holstrom, as usual, my co-host, and also Daniel from Battered Herons, talking to us a little bit about Inter Miami. Thank you, Fugazi, for the intro song. We love this song. We love it so much we like to play it on loop every single time.
Yep.
But it's been a week since our last show. As usual, it's live. And like I said, Daniel is joining us just for the first 10 minutes to talk a little bit about transfer news. Daniel, good to have you again. It's not your first time on Section 28. How you been, buddy?
I've been great. And Erik was putting me on to the whole Fugazi thing. I was unfamiliar. So he was putting me onto it with the beginning of the show. So it was nice to listen to it. Not bad.
Yeah. It's it's pretty. It's a lot of energy. It gets us in the mood. I'd like to keep playing it. But look, man. I know that Inter Miami. It's been all over the news, and with the beginning of transfer season, we thought it was gonna be mostly good news. But that was a little bit of a bump in the road. But talk to us about the state of the union in Miami, Daniel. What's going on in that part of the country? I would say we have the two most prolific soccer teams in the United States right now. What's going on with Inter Miami?
Let's see. Messi got a knock.
What's not going on?
yeah. Messi got a knock on Saturday. But that's expected. It's surprising that he went this long without getting a knock this year. But Rodrigo De Paul, I think, was the big news of the summer. The fact that he came over at the age of 31, where a lot of people found it hard to believe that he would come. But I think that the people that are complaining that they're playing against the rules or breaking rules, I think they're following the rules. It's just that Miami has an advantage. They have Messi, and people are willing to come on loans or take smaller deals because they want the chance to play with Messi. So although they aren't breaking rules, they do have a big advantage, which is obvious, but they're not breaking any rules. But Rodrigo De Paul comes to fill in a need. We need somebody that is a playmaker next to Busquets that can be that box-to-box midfielder, because Miami lost that with Diego Gomez last year when he went to the EPL. And I think that we've gotten that and more with him. He's played 2 games. He's only had 1 practice after his first game. And if what I've seen in the first 2 games without him really practicing with the team is an indication, absolutely you can expect a lot more. And he's just a huge signing, and I'm really excited about it.
DP, right? And cost a buttload of money. Erik, what do you think? What did you think of the
yet.
price tag? Oh, okay. We don't know that yet. Okay. But it did cost a nice hefty price tag for a midfield. And that's the magic, Is it a DP or not? Right, Erik? What do you have to say about that and Inter Miami and everything they're doing?
It's like Daniel said, it's the draw, and that's something, and that's something we have over here in LA, which, when we get into Heung-min Son, that we have that a real Salt Lake doesn't have, Dallas doesn't have, a lot of these teams, they don't have this draw. And even Miami without Messi, it's like Miami is such, especially because there's so many South Americans that go up to Florida. A lot of them have second homes from Argentina, from Brazil. And so it's like, for these world-class soccer players, it's a natural destination to want to go to and kind of draw them there. And it's an advantage to pulling people that other people have. And with us, we had this with Gareth Bale back in 2022. We got him on a TAM because he wanted to warm up for the World Cup. and he looked at all of the MLS teams that were going to the playoffs and was like, oh, LA, yeah, I don't want to go anywhere else. I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to play golf and I'm going to play soccer, and that's it. And we got him to score basically the biggest goal in our club history for us from that little bit. And lots of other players, they want to come here. Son as well, although as I was mentioning on your show, and everybody in our show is from LA, so they already know we have a massive Korean community in Los Angeles. So, this is a whole other advantage of it as well. And that's the thing with our cities. We are huge destinations. We are huge draws within the United States. And so players will come to our cities and they will take less money than they will elsewhere. So, Thomas Muller's another example. Like, he couldn't get the money he wanted here, so he went to Vancouver for it.
Right. And it seems like it was kind of our first right of refusal. Once we couldn't meet his numbers, he kind of moved on. But like, you brought something up very interesting, Eric. These are like, cities in America that really bring a ton more than just, the team itself. New York could be in that conversation, but they kind of failed to get these massive names. Maybe with the new stadium, the New York City FC, it's going to reinvent itself, right?
When you've been living in Europe for so long, you're looking for,
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's a south versus north thing, which creates an natural advantage in places like Atlanta, right?
I think if you compare a beach in Miami, a beach in Los Angeles, and a beach in New York, it's like one of them's obviously like the odd one out.
Yeah, you got Coney Island.
I know, like, you don't have one, right? You're not spending your summer, and then during the summer you're having to travel, and it's hot and it's not great. So I admit, you guys bring up excellent points. Maybe it is a weather thing. Maybe it's a higher presence of Latino population, since they tend to appreciate soccer more. I don't have the formula yet.
I want it for all of our LAFC people.
Go ahead, Erik.
What's your predictions for Miami this year? Miami in Leagues Cup, and then obviously Miami in the Shield race, and Miami MLS Cup. Like, how successful do you think this season's going to be, or not successful?
Well, the Supporter Shield, it doesn't feel like, well, at least the fan base doesn't really care about it anymore this year. They got it last year. It doesn't make a difference, honestly, if you win the Supporter Shield or not. So it's not something that they're looking for, even though Mascherano coaches like he cares, because he doesn't rest anybody, even though everybody hears 50. The Leagues Cup is something that I think everybody felt confident that they could do well in. The Messi knock kind of puts that into question, because he probably won't play. If he plays, maybe in the semifinal if they make it that far. But I think that was something that they felt like we should win. But honestly, it's MLS Cup or bust for Miami. And I honestly do think that they will win it this year, barring anything catastrophic injury-wise. I know that I saw a Gio in the chat said that Miami won't win it even with 5 DPs. I mean, the East isn't as strong as you may think. I mean, I think they should make it at least to the final. I mean, the Red Bulls made it to the final last year. Cincinnati and Columbus, although those are always big-time Eastern Conference teams, I don't really believe in them, honestly. Cincinnati, I guess. Evander's been playing well, but I don't believe in Columbus. And I think Cincinnati would be the
Cincy to me.
Yeah, it would be the biggest threat to that, to Miami making it.
Good. Well, they're on their run for the Leagues Cup. Hey, before we get you, and I agree with you.
Bad, but they kind of
it's bust. It's MLS Cup or bust for us too, since it doesn't seem like we're gonna get anything else. But I need to ask you about LAFC's move to get Son Ming. Again, excellent from a cultural standpoint, but again, it puts us in this different level of MLS competition, with only, I find, to have LAFC and Inter Miami. What do you think of the signing, and what do you think he brings?
Don't forget about Carson. Carson can bring names also.
No, let's put them aside. We actually don't bring them up. And they've had more misses and spend more money on dumb shit than any other team. So I actually think they do a horrible job when they have money. Okay. Go ahead.
One thing
Not in the show, sir.
One thing I will say, Apple must be really happy, right? Because first you got all the Messi fans, which are worldwide, and now you get the biggest Korean star of all time in this sport. And I would assume that that's going to help with some of that Apple subscriptions and just bringing eyes to the league in general. Because you bring somebody, I don't know, is there another name that would have brought as many eyes as Son? Because all the eyes that were here for Messi already, I think Son brings in the rest of that. Like, what else? I can't think of anybody else. Like, if you were to tell me, and I know that this is just talking out of my ass, but if you were to say somebody like Mbappe or Neymar, yeah, those are names.
Neymar's damaged goods.
Let's say Griezmann, who did
right? Griezmann was the big play.
But they wouldn't have brought the eyes that Son is going to bring, because Son is bringing Korea, and then he might bring a lot of Asia also. So I think that I think Son was a huge get for this league. And then on the pitch, what you guys couldn't get out of Giroud, you're gonna get out of Son. I was having a conversation with Erik on our show, where I don't know where he's going to play. I thought Boagna might leave, and that's where he would slide in. But
yeah, that's what everybody thought.
But if Son's going to go possibly play, let's say, the 9 as a center forward, could you imagine those two on the counter? Like, this is going to be something really fun to watch, even though I don't believe in Dolo ball, and they shouldn't have let him finish the year. I think that the talent might get him farther than he would get himself. And I think that you guys might be in for a fun ride at the end of the year, because if Son can get rolling with Boagna, it's going to be fun to watch.
It will be. I hope he doesn't play the 9, Erik. I mean, come on. If we're starting a 4-3-3 with having that guy, he needs to be roaming free. He needs to basically do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, yeah, I mean, look.
But Erik, where do you think this man should be playing? Like, put him in the center. I think play wherever you want.
Spoiler alert! I just did a little 15-minute bump on the Battered MLS fans with Daniel earlier,
Please,
and I
promote
said
that.
I said the 9. I think he's going to play probably more the false 9 role, but Dolo likes the front 3 to interchange, and I think Son is going to interchange perfectly with the front 3. I think on the right we're going to have Martinez or Ordaz in, and then we have a Bobasi when he gets tired or whatever.
And you're not really building a play. You're playing the counter, so it doesn't really matter who's the 9 is. It's just get those forwards running out in space. That's all you're really worried about.
And he's played 9 at Tottenham as well.
He has. He's played everywhere. And again, I'm not a huge connoisseur of his game, which is probably better because it's a clean slate that you get when you see the player here.
Well, you're not as excited as you should be, basically.
But I'm very excited. I'm more excited with this player than I've ever been. You know what I mean? So the last question, I know we'll keep you as long as we can, but is this the biggest signing outside of Lionel Messi that this league has ever seen? I'll go with you first, Daniel.
No, I think Beckham is still number 2.
D-backs, yes, that's true.
Yeah, because the fact he brought the rule, the designated player, was because of him. I think that is going to be the only person that could have passed him was Messi, I think. But I think Son possibly could be 3, definitely top 5, just because of the eyes that he's going to bring to this league. I don't think that anybody else would have brought this many eyes. I think that this is huge, way bigger than Griezmann could have done. So I'm excited for the league with this, and I'm excited for LAFC. Look, I admire the fan base for LAFC. When I see the games on TV, I think that you guys have the best atmosphere in the league, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see that kind of play out. I mean, obviously, I don't want to see you guys in the final, but
of course you do.
I mean,
it'll be fun. It will be, guys. It will be golden. It's gonna be golden. And if you have a daughter, just couple things about K-pop Demon Hunters, this show that they have on Netflix. It's incredible. All these cool songs. And there it is. Son Heung-min, man. A new era LAFC. It's going to be golden. Number 1 song in the United Kingdom, guys. The first Korean song since Gangnam Style, which was a freaking huge song. And I was just starting my life here in LA. Do you know anything about this? I mean, if you have daughters, you have to know about this. All right, it's massive.
No.
Your homeworks for today is to watch some Netflix. And if you don't know it, now you know it. And the soundtrack is something else. Blows your mind. These Korean K-pop people, they have to save the universe. So anyways, that's all I can think about these days.
K-pop as a whole, that's a crazy thing, right?
But that thing is going to take off, right? It's taken off now that it's taken off the UK. I'm just giving you an example. Of course, we're playful here, but the truth is, it's something bigger. If this thing catches on, right? And you've had just examples of that happen in LA, where the Asian population gets captivated by him. It's going to be a showstopper. I really hope he's not another Giroud, guys. We get excited about these guys. And, no. How many of you thought Giroud was going to be that big of a bust? You know what I mean? It's crazy. But I think it's going to be really good, though.
When Giroud got here, I think everybody thought this is a good signing for next year. but they have to build the team around him. But they never did. They never did. They kind of just kept trying to make it work. I don't know.
They sold some guys.
Yeah.
And prepared for Griezmann, which was always like the big thing, man.
All right.
Daniel, I know you got to get out of here, my friend. It's been fun to have you. Thank you so much for your commentary.
Give us the plugs.
So, Battered Herons for Inter Miami talk. If you're at all interested in listening to Inter Miami, or if you're a Messi fan, we come on 4 to 5 times a week. Las Garzas, if you speak Spanish, Mondays at 10 o'clock. And Battered MLS Fans is the roundtable show, or we just have one guest at a time. We had Erik earlier tonight. We talk just all MLS 2 times a week, or maybe more. Who knows? But yes, cool. So those are the 3 plugs. Appreciate you guys, and have a good one. We're about to go do an Inter Miami show ourselves.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Go for it, my friend. Thank you so much. Right. Feel free. I'll remove you now. It's been great to have you, and good luck on your show, and I'm looking forward to having you very, very soon. This guy, man, he's making a network, a podcast maybe. So who knows what's going to happen there. Very, very cool. He's got a lot of different people on his shows. And check him out. A great friend of us. We'll continue to work together with him. Erik, it's back to you and I, buddy. And of course, we have to break down that disaster that's been the Leagues Cup. I confess, I watched every single game on delay. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus here, personal health and stuff. Always good for it. But look, man, it's been a while since. So let's just rewatch those goals, right? Since it's kind of the beginning of the show. It was a little bit quick, so I think it's worth kind of rewatching the 2 goals, one against Mazatlán, a great, beautiful chip by Davi Martinez, and then the goal from no one else but Denis Bouanga against Pachuca on Friday. Let's go.
Va a picar y sí. La pelota vino para David Martínez. Buen pase. Martínez va. Salió el golero. Está. ¡Gol! Disponible. Oh, qué mal que la pasó Moreno. Ordaz para Bouanga. Está. LAFC.
All right, we're back. So we wanted to watch those goals again, talk a little bit about Leagues Cup. Stay here if you still want to hear about transfers, Son. We're still going to talk more about that, but I think it's worth taking a break from the transfers and talking about what's going on the field with the team that we currently have, right, Erik? And what they've been doing in this really quick and weird tournament that we call Leagues Cup. So to you, first and foremost, what have you seen in these last 2 games? A lot of rotation, of course. But, give me your overall impression of LAFC in Leagues Cup so far.
Man, I just see a team that's kind of just drifting. Nothing too much else, man. Just like a team drifting in the water with no rudder in them right now. And, but try not to beat on the dead horse that is Dolo not leaving the club, but I think it just comes down to the coaching staff and just not much ideas. A lot of it's personnel as well and injuries. But yeah, these games have just been kind of nothing surprising. They've been kind of predictable. The positives I have seen, one is Martinez. I started to see some really nice play out of him, getting really involved in the ball. Also, I think his immaturity has been a bit exposed as well. And that's, I think, a reoccurring theme across our team. Ordaz is another one. His immaturity has also been getting really exposed lately. And this is part, as I've been saying the last couple of weeks, this is part of having the kids play. I know the Ordaz red card was bad. But look, in my mind, after that first loss to Mazatlán, we weren't going to make it as one of the top 4 MLS teams. As pretty much the second you don't win a game in this tournament, your tournament's effectively done. They're all just dead rubbers. I think you pulled up the odds. They were basically our odds of progressing was 7% chance of making out of group after that first game, something like that. So,
yeah, I mean, you could have pushed it to 50% if you had a flawless next two games. With, and again, I believe the magic number for this tournament could be 8 points, not 9, like you think. I think with 8 you can get through, right? I think with 7 you may be able to sneak by. With 6, it's going to be extremely hard. With 5, good Lord, only it's possible, but because you don't know what's going to happen against the other team, right? There's no direct confrontations, which makes it hard to think. What if Liga MX beats MLS in every game, and LAFC is the only MLS team to come up with a win? So it's not an impossible thing to think about it, because these results are so independent of one another. So, like, I think that we're gonna see a big change depending on who shows up on the other side of the bracket. But yeah, a lot of things have to come LAFC way in order for us to advance. You mentioned Martinez. So expand on that for me. What have you seen of him over the last two games? He's now in a feature position with the team. He's starting every game. He seems to be the engine, and that's why I think he needs to be on the field when Son arrives, right? And that's why I don't know where Son's going to play, and Ordaz playing really well. So, what do you do there with these 3 names and two positions, perhaps? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if you want to look at it as a bright side or whatever, but with Son, he's in the preseason right now, so he's probably not going to be jumping right into 90 minutes right away. I think he'll probably be, starting out with 20, 30 minutes in games, and then maybe getting up to like the first 60 minutes. So I think there's going to be plenty of time for Ordaz to kind of play behind him. But I do think that Martinez is looking a bit better right now. And his immaturity is a little bit different, Ordaz's immaturity is basically to get red cards and do stupid off the ball fouls like elbow guys and put his hands to guy's face, which he didn't technically get the red card against Miami, but probably should have.
Yeah, I remember that. It was close.
And whereas Martinez, his lapses are more, for example, there's a moment he didn't look over his shoulder to see where the defender was and got dispossessed off the ball. But what he's doing that's really great is getting open, and his dribbling has been fantastic. That chipped finish was really nice, and he's just doing a lot of really technical dribbling and technical passing and getting open. His off the ball work has been good, but again, he makes little mental lapses that just, I think, experience will start to fix.
Yeah, and by the way, I compare his numbers with Stipe Biuk just to see where they were compared with one another, and Martinez is already having a better career with LAFC and goal contributions. He's getting on the field and being more involved than Stipe was. So it was an upgrade from that, whatever that was. Stipe was actually more experienced, came in the league with European caliber kind of resume and didn't do anything. So Martinez, as a younger mind, just shown, yes, he's still missing a little bit of the essentially smart whatever of the game, right? But he does seem to have the fundamentals down, and he's trying to get involved, and he has the correct energy, and it seems to be embraced by his teammates. But yeah, man, it's been painful watching some of these young guys play.
You bring up Buke, man. I think we got like frauded on Buke. Like he went back to Croatia for a bit, and he's playing like second division Spain.
Yeah, I know, he kind of just didn't pan out. It's sad to see.
Yeah, I'm
we
not
got
sure
out of it.
If he was ever what he was sold to us as.
So speaking of that, so last week, if you didn't watch, check it out, our last show, because it's a good one. We talked about the different moves that JT did this past year, and we actually went one by one, and we graded these guys that were incoming and didn't pan out. But what we didn't do is talk about the guys that left and what that meant, and what these guys, and someone brought up just now how excellent David Murillo, Jesus Murillo has been for Juarez. And I did not watch the game, but it's not a surprise to me. That was a bad decision to me, to let him go and someone else to stay, right? But talk to me, Erik, about the Luca Bombino move, right? Someone that went to San Diego, and you go ahead and talk about that move and what it meant to LAFC and for LAFC to let him go.
Yes. San Diego's 19-year-old right back that LAFC too. Huh? How about that? Scored a great goal last week as well. So basically, West Brom in the second division of England really wants this kid. I want to say they offered $8 million for him, and San Diego turned it down and wants more. And I believe a bigger offer should be coming for him. And we basically, what did we let him go for? Like a sack of peanuts, like 150 gams, something like that.
Garbage.
Yeah, and so he's actually no, sorry, he's I got that wrong. Let me take that back. We loaned. He is being loaned.
Yeah, he's on a loan with a obligation to purchase, right?
Whatever.
They're going to buy it. Well, but an option to purchase, and then of course they're going to exercise.
Yeah, no, they're expected to trigger the purchase option because they're about to sell the kid for possibly 8 figures
for nothing. Yeah, so it's.
Yeah. So
a big miss for a position that you would think between Steve Cherundolo, a former right back, and the fact that we've been just so bad at that position. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just one that we haven't gotten it right in a long time. You know, Ryan Hollinshead is still playing that position for us because no one else can be doing it. Now and then you got Palencia. I get it, but I don't know, man. It seems like we let someone go that could have been a really good backup, young dude for position. And again, the guys that you have versus the guys that you let go, right? The Ilya Sanchez versus Olden Home. The guys make the same amount of money. I just don't understand that. That was another one that we barely talked about. Ilya Sanchez, a guy that we knew wasn't going to start here, but everybody was going to say, "Oh, he's deserving too much money." We took a pay cut in Austin.
And here's like Dolo. There are guys that he just rolls with. You know, Tillman is one. Like, I don't know what it would take for Tillman to like get benched, but he rolls with
German
Tillman.
connection, maybe. I don't know. I'll stipulate.
And then you have Palencia at right back. Nothing against Palencia. He's a solid right back, but Palencia is not an MLS best 11 right back. So like, why are we so tied to him all the time? Especially knowing that basically this kid who didn't get minutes because we wanted to give them all to Palencia now is about to go to England. And like he never got a chance in the field to see what he had, and so this is. And
again, I brought Ryan Hollinshead, and Hollinshead has been playing left, and it's part of this issue, right? Hollinshead is a natural right back, and he should be the backup there, and so now who is Ryan Hollinshead? So there seems to be always this 3 for 4 position. You know what I mean? There's 3 guys for 4 positions, and we just make the most of it, and then Yeboah has to play right back at some point. It's just how we roll. It's just how we've been rolling with this, and we just seems to have missed big on this kid. It's not good, man. I don't like this. Of all the things he gets right, of all the people he signs, it's tough to see these guys walk out of the door.
It's so easy to play the hindsight 2020 game, but I mean, imagine if we kept Tristan Blackman instead of basically not covering him for an expansion draft and. For sure.
Yeah, I think that's tough because it's such a lottery, right? And they just went for him. And I saw the players that were in that list and the people that we kept. And you can make the argument here and there that we kept a guy or two, like Steady Eddie or some of these dudes. But dude, you're right. That is like could have, should have, would have. Too much of a stipulative nature. But it is what it is. Oh, man, I haven't heard this name in such a long time.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like, this is why, like, JT has such a tough job at a general manager. And if you look across sports, there's no general manager on this planet that has a 100% record of getting every good player right and getting every bad player right as well and moving on, I know. It comes down to systems and everybody has a bias with how they look at things, no matter what you do. I have it, you have it, Celso. Everybody here in the audience has a bias, and there's players that you look better than others. And so, these little things, your confirmation bias. Sometimes you don't notice the little parts of somebody's game, and somebody else sees it, and they make a meal out of it, and then you're selling some kid that you loaned off of an academy for $10 million to England, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, and then now we're back to talk about Walker Zimmerman and what that meant and letting him go. And we can keep going, and and at the end of the day, it's like Daniel said earlier. It's MLS Cup or bust. If we get an MLS Cup with this roster, probably not going to happen. Great, but we have to talk about a couple of things before we go here. We'll see what happens next year. We don't know.
The world.
And we'll see what happens with Bombito. But go ahead.
The world where we win a cup this year, and Dolo heads back to Germany with 2 MLS Cups in 4 years. Like this is like a crazy world on the whole flip side.
Yeah, and we're long odds now. We're like the 6 odd with it. We have as good odds as again. There's like 4 or 5 teams ahead of us. Because why? MLS playoffs are highly dictated by your seeding, and if our seeding is horrible, we're gonna go on the road a lot. And outside of that first round, we're going to be playing mostly on the road. And you know what happens when we play on the road. We just don't play as well. We're not going to win at Vancouver, at this place, and then go beat Miami. It's what the fuck. We're going to get smashed somewhere. Or Cincinnati, right? I don't know. It's just really hard to know what's going to happen. But if that's what seems to be all we're playing for, Erik. Because Leagues Cup seems to be a long shot. We're not in the U.S. Open Cup anymore, or we've never been this year. Excuse me. And that's pretty much it. The playoffs are coming. We're not going to do the supporter shield. Nobody cares about it. You saw it. You heard it. Once you won it once, you're like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It seems like we're almost at a risk of not making CONCACAF champions next year with one of the biggest signings in this league. What do you think of that?
Oh. 100% we're at risk. I think this is a long shot. It's possible.
But you should be a minimum goal if you're going to keep this coach with this roster that you've engineered for the first part of the year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I missing here?
This is why before this tournament, I was lamenting that we didn't let him go after Miami and get another coach. Because, What does a competition next year mean to Dolo when he's not even going to be here? It's the urgency's not going to be there. How much is that going to affect what he does in the field? Like, it has to. Like, because something like that, you need to have when you have a desire for something, it changes the way that you go about working towards it. And so basically, if you're like, what is the CONCACAF? What is the CONCACAF champions? It's something for the next coach. I'm not even going to be here, so what does it matter? It's that's what that comes down to. I think it's a very long odds, and like I said, going into this tournament, this was the prize that we needed, is just qualification into this tournament. It's not going to happen, which basically means that depending on what happens, what teams go through, and what teams qualify. Hopefully, all 3 of them are MLS teams again that qualify for this. Although I'm not even sure if that's possible anymore. I think it can be 2 and 1 because of how the teams play each other. But at the best, 2 MLS teams win slots here. They finish high in the Supporter Shield, and possibly the 5th or the 6th slot in the Supporter Shield race might have qualifications fall to them. And that's going to be it. It's a little expanded, but otherwise we got to win the cup. So win the cup or finish 6th position or better in the Supporter Shield. Like, that's pretty much how we're qualifying. Both of these are very long shots.
The Red Bulls were pretty low last year as a seeding. So I think at the end of the day, if we get hot at the right time and we have the right team, all you got to do is win 3 games, right? So it's like, are you hot? And can you go on the road and beat some teams? And you have the momentum. And if the team is looking good with Porteous, I'm probably going to smash this dude's name a little bit, and Son arriving and hopefully making an impact right off the bat. We don't know when he's going to be ready, right? Some people say San Diego, he might be already ready to go, but it could be possible because it's MLS playoffs. All you got to do is win 4 or 5 games. It's a brand new competition, really, and maybe Dolo will come out of this with 2 of these trophies, dude. Because who else has gotten the amount of players and great incoming firepower as much as he has? I mean, JT's been excellent on this window. Last year, look, we were adding Giroud as like a piece, right? So we already had a very strong team going to Leagues Cup. we were playing Columbus with Giroux off the bench and Matty was still here. The team was solid, bro. Like, I think Oliveira was starting.
No, Giroux.
So, I mean, it just seems like it's Dolo's title to lose. And it's not a knock on him. Do you think he's waiting for someone big for next year? Like, is it possible that we would see a transcendental coach in this league? And I have a name, right? I really believe they're going to go after him. I don't know anything from the club standpoint, but I think we could make a run at him. Who would you think would fit for this roster? Don't give me Jim Curtin, because that just seems too short and narrow-minded to me, but go ahead. Anyway. Sky's the limit here. JT. Oh, look at this guy. He wants this cat. I don't know, man. His stock is really low right now.
I mean, if I'm picking anybody who I want, of course, for me,
no, go ahead. But it has to be someone that is possible too. Yeah, okay. All right, let's put him aside because that's always your example. And of course, he's not going to leave Palmeiras to come to MLS. No, but like, do you think there's anybody that could? Right, outside of a name we've seen 100 times, or a no-namer from Finland.
Shout out to our chat with the guy Ange Postecoglou.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That guy came up. So that's it. That's all you coming up with. Daggone. Okay, I'll tell you who I want, and I think this is
Razov. I think it's going to be Razov.
Oh God. Okay, I think he deserves to at least. I think he. Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, brother? There he is. He's back, baby.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Dolo's gonna be here all season, man. Don't worry about that. You can just continue to just be miserable.
You get to watch Son though, at least.
You get to watch Son, and we're gonna ride this. We're gonna ride it. But look, I'm not gonna lie. I think this, and I'm sorry for the grass is not the best, but this is who we think we should get, and I think we can. He's currently in Turkey. All right? And this is a person that has played and coached who? Tottenham. Who? Son. Who? Lloris. So he's got the connection with the athletes. He's a transcendental name. He's in a shittier league than ours. And he's coached all these cats. I don't care who's coach this year. This is my coach next year. Go after him.
Also, I'm gonna adopt this coach as well. I didn't even think about this guy, but this is a really great pick.
Look, it's a Fenerbahce, brother.
Yeah, Fenerbahce, whatever. Fucking Fenerbahce.
Fucking Fenerbahce, brother. Just chilling. Look at this smirk. Look at this cat. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. We have the player. We have the captain who's about to go get a green card for us. He's staying. Of course he's staying. We have these two guys already here. Who are you gonna get to coach them? Come on, it's 2 + 2 = 5 or 2 + 2 = 4. Get the 4 guy. It's Mourinho. It's your man. He would crush it here. Oh, look at Seb. Come on, Seb. Seb.
Then what comes next? Lucas Moura?
Fuck yeah. Now we got a whole fucking party. The Tottenham party. Put the band back together. And I think Lucas will be available at some point on a loan or something. You can get this guy. But I love these little player clusters. It would work. I will 100% put my hat on this name. JT, if you listen to our show, it's not always positive, but this is your move, buddy. You go after this guy. You make a splash from the coaching side of the ball. And if he doesn't work, maybe Jardine's a good second name. I think Jardine could be a good second name. But don't make the mistake of bringing a superstar without a coach that worked with him. I don't believe in that, especially when it's a clean slate. Or, Erik, or even better, it's already on the works. And this is all part of the big plan. But Seb thinks it's just pie in the sky and me talking shit. Well, most likely not, but why not? What is holding you in the country of Turkey that cannot get you here? And again, maybe you know more about Turkish football than me. I think they are a little bit doing more. They're doing better than they were before he got here. I get that. But I still would try to lure him to the United States as a big name. I just wouldn't go Razov on him. I'm done on this topic. You want to add anything about it?
No, because also you did a great job on that. Like, yeah, I still think it'll probably be Razov next year.
Oh God, yeah, it might happen, and if it happens, it could work because he's an MLS guy, and Pat Noonan's doing a great job after years as an assistant under Jim Curtin. So I would go maybe get the best assistant we could, and we have him already. If they ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, Jim Curtin still doesn't have a job, does he?
He doesn't have a job, but I don't know if he's the right guy for the job. I think he's like a working man. I think the Luca Bombinos are not going to walk out of the door anymore, but I think he's just not. Could you imagine him trying to coach a Korean man, a Korean superhero, a golden Korean K-pop
I think
demon hunter?
Because he basically left Philly because they wouldn't ever give him a player anywhere near him. I think if they would have I think he left because he wanted a player like Son to show up at some point and realize that nobody's ever going to give him that. But I mean,
they're leading without him. So
they are indeed. But he's a Philly guy. Never count a Philly guy out.
I don't know. Yeah, I think we would be okay with him, but it could just not work. Just like we all thought Ronny Deila was going to work. I thought Ronny Deila was going to be great in Atlanta, and he stinks. And just because he was good in New York, right? Oh, Ronny Deila was great in New York, but then he stunk the next place. Ronny Deila got New York City MLS Cup, but then he stunk the next place. And guess what? Yeah. Jim Curtin has done with Philly over and over and over and over again that I don't want to happen. That's happened over and over again here. He loses every fucking final. Do you want this again? I don't want that, man.
I think Razov
he doesn't win against Liga MX. Those are the two things that you should be doing as an LAFC coach. Third, beat the Galaxy. It's simple. 3 things. I don't think dull is soft. I don't think that's the word. I think he's just a very non-emotional, methodical, Germany operated kind of person. I don't really think he's soft, though. But Erik does believe he's soft. That's cool. All right, 40 minutes. It's been fun. Let's talk Tigres, man. We got a game tomorrow. I'm going to be there. I did not make it to the first 2, but I like to see how this thing ends. We do have a mathematical chance of making this because LAFC, I believe, go to 6 or 5 points. Let's bring up the standings here. LAFC currently in 13th place.
Out of 18?
Ay, caramba. Yeah, out of 18th. So not looking too hot. The only eliminated teams, however, San Diego, Atlanta, and Houston. San Diego, right out of there, real fast. LAFC, again, this new form, like very complex, 3 points. So we could go to 6. The
bottom that haven't been eliminated.
So that's what I mean. We can go to 6 points, and if Seattle, Portland, Miami, Minnesota lose, there's already 4 spots that we leapfrog, right? So you just need the guys on top of you to lose, right? And it's a 50-50 chance, whatever is bound by that mathematical, odds of that game, right? But it's individual odds, so it could very much change a lot, dude. Like, we don't know who's going to win.
Seattle beat Cruz Azul 7-0, like the tiebreaker.
They're through, right? Because they're but if they lose and everybody else gets to 7, like the Galaxy, Columbus, Orlando, and Cincy win and Seattle loses, suddenly they have 6 points, and then the Galaxy goes to 7, Columbus goes to 7, Orlando goes to 7, Cincinnati goes to 7. By the way, the Galaxy's eyeing this trophy, and I think they're going to go deep on this trophy because they have a lot to play for, and suddenly they have some energy towards the end of the season. Whether you like it or not, suddenly the Galaxy are in this. So they might end up with more trophies this season than we do. Just let that shit sink in, and that's going to be just a sad fucking reality of the situation, Erik.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby, it's just the way it is, man, and that's just why. And that's why Greg Vanney is still there. And I don't understand why we just didn't make a move. But maybe Jose Mourinho's coming next year. Come on. Maybe that's it. Just look at these standings real quick, dude. Because it's complicated. There's a lot going on here. Tigres is leading. Look at that. Tigres leads. So they've been excellent. They won 2 games. So you're actually playing the best team from Liga MX so far. Juarez, who has nobody but Jesus Murillo, who's playing a lot of good soccer right now. So on our side, I have to scroll down 3 positions to find LAFC here with 3 points. So you see, if all these teams take out, right, then we're at 4. And if we win penalties, that would be good to leapfrog all these guys as well, right? Because we would go to 5. So that's not a problem for us.
So we need Minnesota to lose too.
Correct. That's correct.
One.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of a problem there, with that. So we need a lot to happen, buddy.
We need 6 teams to lose outright, and then we need the next 3 teams to not win by more than we win. Or wait, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Some crazy math like that.
Yeah, we're talking like what, a 2% chance less than 2?
Correct.
I mean,
very small chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And I think that's what MLS expects, that this kind of has some last minute turnarounds that qualify some teams that never thought they would be into this. So yeah, all the energy and all the love will go to Liga MX teams if we want to make this. But yeah, let's talk about Tigres. They're doing really well. They have a really good team. Gignac, I believe, is still there, crushing it. I actually have not watched a lot of Liga MX this year. But what's your expectation?
Gignac a super sub these days.
Yeah, he's coming off the bench. And again, like I said, it's been a minute since I've watched Tigres, but they did win their 2 games. Gio thinks that if we crush them 10-0, we're good. I expect a big showing for LAFC because there's nothing else going on. So we're going to crush it. And meaning like we just don't have a chance anymore. So they're going to show up and show off.
Yeah.
We're going to win 3-0 to say the team played well, but it's not enough because the leagues of this championship is blah, 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 blah. So that's how I think that game's going to go. And it's going to be somewhat of a meaningless game because of everything behind it. Today we heard from Igor Jesus. Hassal's been in goal, and I think he's now their number 2 goalkeeper, man. Looks like he's been looking a little bit better. Maybe it's a penalty kick thing. What can you say about the goalkeeper situation right now for LAFC? What have you seen of Hassal? Like, do you think he's our number 2?
I mean, we only have a number 1, really. I mean, once Lloris comes back from France, like it's Lloris every game. Hassal definitely.
Isn't that interesting that he took off these 3 games though? And Hassal talked today, so I have a feeling he's going to start again. So LAFC just basically said we're not going to have our captain for this. They made a decision to let him go for this week so that he can get his green card. Does that talk to you with prioritization, maybe not giving a shit about this League's Cup a little bit? If you let 2 of your main players go to get green cards through it? And I know Palencia is back, but he was missed that Mazatlán game.
Yeah, I think, I don't think, I know if you ask them, they wouldn't say that we try to win every game. We put people that we think can do. But if you look at the rotation that first game, like right away, that just, it didn't make much sense at all. Or it was just a vast amount of overconfidence. And this team, this team has no business having any overconfidence at all because we just have seen them not show up too many times against bottom of the table teams that like you can, previous years we could do a half rotation and feel pretty good about winning. This is not one of those years. It's like, if we need to win a game, we need to have our best 11 in, and they need to be going for it. Like there's none of this like pussyfooting around.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe they're like, you guys got to go harder. And then Nathan Ordaz is late to a tackle and gets a red card. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you channel that shit, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, come on, let's go. Your shitty body. Red card within 9. I mean, what the fuck?
He's not a late. Nathan is not a late to the tackle red card guy. Nate is like, I'm gonna choke you. I'm gonna choke
I'm gonna
you.
fuck you
'cause I
up,
think
right?
nobody's
And then
looking. I'm gonna choke you
no,
off
but
the ball.
think about that. Look at the choke. What's up with the choking? You know, like Eddie Segura gets a red card. This team has gotten more red cards the last few games that they've probably gotten all last season, bro. Like I don't even know what's going on right now. Like we're a red card machine.
I think they are frustrated.
Well, fuck me. Like you're shooting yourself in the foot with this stuff. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be the leader of the team. Or you're the young, cool guy. Oh, I don't even talk up because I don't want to do attention to myself. And then you're hot hat on the field, man. What the hell?
Celso, this may be a sign that the locker room is not really happy, and the locker room's not happy with the coach, and the discipline is the first thing to go, you know, and the emotions come out, and people get hot-headed because they're frustrated with everything going on, and and they're not getting calmed down behind the scenes. So that's a speculation right there. If you want to,
No, it's not a speculation because, if you remember Girondo's comments after Galaxy, he's like, the ref didn't do a good job calming the players down. And I'm like, wait, whose job is to calm the players down? Is it yours or the ref? And I get it. The ref has a place in like using his cards strategically to calm the players down. But like, wait, what? You're the one that said, hey guys, we're winning this game. Sit back and kill time. Be strategic. Be brasileiro. Cachimba. Cai no chão. Kill time. Cai no chão. Rola. We didn't do Brasileiro on USA in a couple weeks.
No,
done it in a couple weeks.
Palmeiras Vitória yesterday, there was such a dive that got upheld that was hilarious.
I know, like, come on, you have 2 plays to go, but at the end of the day, you're letting these leads slip. If you think about it, all these leads, LAFC led the game against Mazatlán, against Pachuca. Both times got the Liga MX team found the equalizer, and again 2 times you let 2 leads go against the Galaxy, so that's 4 blown leads in this little span of 3 games. That is not good enough. He's at home. That is uncharacteristic of the team. It's uncharacteristic of the Chirundo tenure. But he realizes the team is not doing well, and he's short-staffed.
3 of their last 4 games, they've blown a lead. The only one they did was Portland, where they lost 1-0 at home.
Well, come on. You can't lose a game. You're not winning. Got you there. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's crazy. It seems to me like that it's the meme of each person, each Spider-Man pointing at one another and saying it's your fault. You have the coaching staff saying we need players. You have the players frustrated with whatever it is that they're frustrated, showing on the field, red cards, discipline. And then you have the general manager, right before the Club World Cup saying we need to coach a little bit. We need to play a little bit, right? So he's putting the onus on the execution of his coaching staff and the players, right? So like accountability is out of the window, right? If anybody's saying someone else needs to do something, right? How about we start thinking about what we need to do better ourselves? Because I haven't heard that from anyone. Everything is fine. It seems that way. The message is really off. But we're 1 game away from another elimination in 2025. If you're an LAFC fan this year, you're getting accustomed to being eliminated. And this one seems going to be very unceremonious, too. Like, just boom. 3 games. 2 ties against Liga MX.
I'm not even going to be surprised if we have some rotation, honestly.
Let's talk about that. We're going towards the end of the show here. So what's your starting 11? I'm pretty sure Hassal's going to start in goalkeeper, but go from there, buddy. Who do you think is going to be there tomorrow?
You think Lloris isn't back yet from France, is he?
No, he's not. That's why I said Hassal's going to start, because he talked with the press today also. So I have a feeling he's going to start tomorrow as well.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have probably Tafari, Segura. Maybe they'll start Artem and then put Hollingshead on the right and sit Palencia. Palencia had a poor game last time also. But I'm sure he just needs a rest. We will have Chicago as the next game, I think, coming up on
This weekend.
We're in Chicago, so I have a feeling they're going to rest some people for that. I think in the midfield, I think Tillman's going to rest. I think Delgado and Jesus will play, but I think Tillman will be one to get a rest. I think we'll probably see a Bobasi because Ordaz is carded. And Denny Bouanga, just because that guy can just keep playing anyways. And I think we'll get a Martinez as well. And that'll be that. So we'll be basically half rotated at this point.
Yeah, and at this point, is it a rotation or is it like trying to just make something out of nothing, right? Like, it just seems to me you might as well try things. Right? We sometimes condemn.
You rest guys for Chicago. That's it. You're resting guys for this weekend because
so you're already thinking
means a lot more than this one does.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad because it's Tigres, it's the Yamakis, and you don't want to get out of this tournament with 3 adverse. And I don't really count a penalty win as something positive. 3 adverse games and results against Liga Mackies. It really puts us behind. They are one way that we measure ourselves. And if we can't beat lower mid-tier teams in Liga Mackies, like, who are we, right? Who are we? I get it. 1 game you slipped, but 3 games at home and you can't get a win. I don't care what kind of roster you have. You should be able to compete and get a W. A lot of teams are making things happen with worse rosters than ours. So, it's a little bit of accountability, like I said. It seems like everyone needs to do a little bit more. You know what I mean? Stop pointing at one another. Do your part. JT's doing his part. He's out there. He's breaking contracts. He's cutting loose when it doesn't work. He's active. He's getting us the players. He is a superstar GM. We graded you hard, because we have high expectations for you. But here you are, getting us the biggest fucking player that you could ever get after we missed on the big one. We knew we wanted Griezmann, right?
Yeah, I'd probably bump him up a letter.
Of course, we said that. You said that in the beginning. If he lands Son, it's over. But again, we were really talking about his last year. So this is a new year, a new window, and guess what, JT? You're starting with an A-. I'm sorry, A+, buddy. You just need to land the biggest signing in LAFC history. And I'm sorry, David Beckham, yes, a good second place. But depending on a career that Son has here, it could be better. I just don't know what's going to happen with him. And I've just been so frustrated with our DP signings. Like, what was the last one that really worked out, man? Like, it's Denis. But, like, outside of that, oh, my God. It's just been really hard to see the revolving door there since some of these guys, buddy. But predictions on your scoring tomorrow, mate. Should we do that or what?
Yeah. You know what? Just because I don't know who the fuck this team is, like, I think that we're gonna see a game like Minnesota, and we're gonna win like 1-0, like, against all odds.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so a slim pickings win. So we get the first goal once again, which has been the case in the last 2 games, but this time we hold on. Sorry though, we left Gio's 10-0 comment there for a little while. I'm gonna put this one on, which is very important for me. It doesn't look like Juan's coming back, guys, but Juan did a lot for this club.
He called the Son transfer,
and he called the Son transfer before it happened, and it cost him his Twitter account. What a way to go! I mean, if you had a way to go, that was it. Like, he threw himself in front of that truck or whatever it is, which, by the way, it's part of K-pop Demon Hunters. You guys got to watch this shit, by the way. It's wild.
Still on Instagram. I was sending him videos.
Of course he is.
I was sending him Dogao videos, like, the other day.
Of course he is, and he should be. A new platform. It's visual anyway, so he could probably crush it on Instagram and continue his doing here. Gio thinks it's going to be a 3-1 loss to Tigres. I think I actually don't think it's going to be that high scoring. Tigres is leading, so they just need a point. They just need a tie, and they maybe take it to penalties, and they should be out of the group. So I think they're going to sit back, and it's going to cause slow down the game, which is going to make it more low scoring how Erik thinks it is. Seb thinks it's going to be a 2-win LAFC win, which is the classic score everybody loves. I like that score for LAFC. You know, what else could happen, right? Boanga scoring 2 goals. Hopefully they don't do this soon because I'm not dealing with this fucking bullshit. Please don't do that ever. Just sell them for $30 and let people buy them because it's insanity. You're going to cause a stampede at BMO.
That would
please
be
don't
insane.
do that shit.
Like, yeah,
just don't do it. Just
die.
don't. Or
People
if you
are
do
gonna
it,
die.
make sure you give every single person there one. Do not try to make it a race because it will fuck people up and people will die. And we don't want that.
If they show up with 23,000, that means the first 500 people are going to get.
Yeah, I know. And then people send their cousins and cousin moms, and there's just stampede, and then the securities are having a fucking thing. It just looks bad for everybody, man. Come on. And by the way, you go through the VIP area, there's like you can get 3 for your kids. It's insanity. So it's a bunch of bullshit. Don't do it. Don't do it. We don't need it. Just stick with the guns of just having the player. And if you want to sell bobblehead for $30, everybody will just want it anyways. But anything else? We did talk Ryan Porteous, but we're against the hour. Anything you want to talk Ryan? Good center back. Just right before I would leave, just what do you think of that signing, Eric? I had it in here to ask you about it. We now have 2 signings, 2 international signings. Are you happy with Ryan Porteous? Not as red carded machine as I first thought he was, but he's a little bit of a heavy footed guy. What do you think of the pickup?
Yeah, no, we need center backs. So I mean, if they can play center back, get them on the team because otherwise we're putting Palencia in there or we're bringing up the next LAFC 2 kid, which the last one did good, but we need some more.
Yeah, so. Kenny's looking a little bit better than Tafari. Unfortunately for Tafari's kind of falling pretty fast. I think Kenny's been doing a pretty good job given what we're working with here, Ben. My score tomorrow, hard to tell, but I'm confident in a win. I think LAFC is going to show up. They have some pressure to show the fans the team's going to be hungry to at least do their part, reach those 6 points, and maybe hope for what it would be a miracle. But miracles happen. You never know. This crazy format that we have. I think next year they really should just kind of cut 2 teams and allow 8 to go through, right? So 16 to 8 would be a lot better than the 18 to 4. What an odd format. 18 teams to 4 when each team don't play one another seems really, really hectic to me. Or go back to groups.
They're just trying to reduce the number of games for the year.
I get it. We don't want to play Vancouver 3 times. I understand that. I get it, mate. But at the end of the day, right, like 18 to 4 seems a little bit kind of forced. And it doesn't gel with anything. I love the try. We've been trying to get this right. Or you know what? I really think this format would crush it, Eric. Calendar year, game in and back. So 1 game at home, 1 game away. Calendar here, the whole calendar. You play the whole calendar, and then you go to Mexico and back, right? So you would play a kind of Open Cup style or not for the second part of the year. So, you know what I mean? So it would, to me, maybe do the League's Cup, the week of the groups here, right? Keep that going, but then go to a back and forth, right? So you can have 180 minutes, a proper opportunity for Liga MX fans.
Like a Copa Sudamericana.
Thank you. And honestly, I think the League's Cup started with that format and we went away from it. But, make the League's Cup what it is now for the groups. But then when you go into that format, allow the groups, the games to go back and forth. I think it would really make this tournament the perfect format. 18-4 sounds crazy to me, bro. And we're not going to be one of those.
They're not going to play those games in Mexico until Messi retires.
Maybe. I think that's a mistake. But, until then, I think we're just going to continue to have this oddball tournament. And as good as the money and the CONCACAF spots are at the other end, it just seems a little bit oddballs to me that we get 3 games at home and, we may win every game and still not make it because we didn't score enough fucking goals, right? So it's just, again, it hasn't happened. It's not going to happen this year, but it just seems a little bit forced to me. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Interesting with the tickets. Good to see you all. All my tickets for this season have sold already, except for the Toronto game. They know something is happening, Eric. They know something is happening, buddy. But great to see everybody. If If you watch this on YouTube, that's the best way. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and all that stuff. If you found us on X, that's on my profile. One of these days, we'll put it on the page, but limitations prevents us from doing that. Thank you, Erik, as usual, for being here. I know it's a little bit later there, and you're an early bird, cat, but it's always fun to have you here and talk LAFC with you. And we'll be back next Monday as usual to talk more and what's happening with Son to LAFC, as well as what happens after this game this weekend. We're not going to break down the game, right? But we're going to the East Coast and playing Chicago, Midwest, playing Chicago. Then go back to the East Coast to play the Revolution. So lots of East Coast trips on our future. And
we're going to have to get Gustavo on here for
the
Revolution.
schedule. Yeah, let's see if we can get that. Let's get Gustavo. He's great. He did the World Cup too, and he's a great resource for the refs. That would be a great addition to our show. Thanks, Erik. That's a good one. Appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you next week. And
later,
we'll see what happens tomorrow. Later, guys.
Seb, all you guys.
Yeah, no, it's it's been good. It's been good. The chat always killing it, and I really appreciate you guys being here.